I'm David Griffin. It's the 16th of January 2018 and I'm in Chesterfield today to talk to
Chris Marples.
Morning, Chris.
Morning, David.
We go back a long way, and part of what we're going to do today is go back, if we can, right to the beginning, because of course you were famously a professional cricketer and professional footballer, and I know you'll talk something about that in due course. But what was your first connection or your first involvement with a game of cricket?
Probably with my father. When my father, he played Notts and Derby Border League at that time. He was playing with Morton. And we came across, he played in the Premier League, well, not the Premier League, the top division at that time, and came across pros such as Mick Glenn, who played for Denby at that time. Phil Russell was playing with Langley Mill. Morton was a side who was up and down. They'd get promoted one year, get relegated the following year. So my dad was a wicket keeper, not a batter, but he was just mainly a wicket keeper. And I went along every week and made him bowl at me in the nets right from when they were batting. I had to bat every day. And wicket keeping came from there, just wanting to do what he did, and same was football. Again, he was playing at Central Midlands, which was a good standard at that time, as a goalkeeper, and I just followed everything what he wanted to do. So the cricket and football came from following my dad and watching him play Saturdays, both football season and cricket season.
School? Were you playing sport at school?
Yeah, school. It was a strange one at school because junior school, I was at Brockwell. We used to play 8-a-side at that time. The representation side was Chesterfield Boys, which was 11-a-side. And I went as a goalkeeper and ended up playing some games as a fullback. I don't know why, but I did that. So we did a little bit of that. Cricket as well at Brockwell. We did play cricket, which was good. It wasn't, renowned against many, but we did used to play against local sides in Chesterfield.
Keeping wicket?
Yeah, kept wicket right from where I never did anything else at cricket. Just cricket and bat, wicket keep and bat. So yeah, so that was always with cricket. But yeah, so football then it obviously we went on and we went into further age groups and stuff, and same with cricket. I think at that time Derbyshire only had a under-13s, an under-13s cricket side, which was run by JD Brown and Eric Marsh. Yeah, and we used to go to Lee Green, and we used to spend a week down there doing the cricket, and Colin Brown was another one there.
Can I just take you back? Who would have spotted you then for you playing cricket as a boy, but who would have discovered you to play for Derbyshire? What was the process?
Trial process.
Right.
I'm not sure if there was an actual trial process. I think you played in leagues and you played in the national competition.
Yeah.
And that we in Chesterfield area we used to play sides at that time, Athersage and sides like that, and then you'd develop into the next group, which used to be regional. And I remember playing I think we played Derby Kongs or somebody, but I remember playing a game at Langley Mill as a young boy. But yeah, so
was that, and you were playing for Morton presumably?
No, that one I was Chesterfield Cricket Lovers.
Right.
With Harold Bedford.
Yeah.
Harold Bedford. So he was the one who I used to play, and we used to coach we used to train at Chesterfield College. Dick Suttle.
Yes.
And Bob Murray were the two coaches at that time who, fantastically enthusiastic, and we used to go down there on a Saturday, and I used to go down there along with my sister. She played a little bit. She played a little bit with, I think Enid Blyton, not Enid Blyton, Enid Bakewell.
Yes.
Enid Bakewell. I remember watching her in a tournament. So that's where it all started. More or less, the coaching side all started down there, and I used to then go to AGD, which used to be on Lownsley Green.
It's been the old post office.
That's right, yeah. But we used to play on Lownsley Green, and Dick Suttle there, he used to have a triangular tournament, and you used to play every Saturday morning at 20 overs, and the age group was unlimited. It was under 18, so at 11-year-old, you was playing. Yeah, you was playing against, quite decent players.
Who was around? Were any names that we'd remember that went on to be pros or?
Probably, but I was more concerned with just doing what I was doing rather than thinking about who was. Yeah, I think a lot of players came from that. Ian Waring, who was at Sussex, he was at our school. So me and Ian played at our school at Tupton Hall when we started to get to 14, 15. But yeah, so you came across people, and then the counties setups then. As I say, I remember playing under 13s was the only age group, and I played that at 10.
Right.
So I was playing under 13s at 10.
Anyone in that side that went on to become
There was
Derbyshire player?
was it one of the Smith's sons played? I don't think he played for Derbyshire at that time. But there wasn't a lot. I remember playing against John for Cheshire when he was at
John
Cheshire,
Morris, yeah.
and him and Neil Fairbrothers in the same side. So I remember playing against them. And other counties, I can't, as I say, we didn't used to have a collection of scorecards then, or
No.
you couldn't go onto a website and have a look who you played against at that time. But yeah, I mean, so that's where the first cricket came through, and that's when I started representing Derbyshire. Because I think they just had 13s, 15s, and 17s.
And how did you juggle that with football? And which was there a priority at that time?
No priority. Just enjoying what I did. Just enjoying playing football, enjoying playing cricket.
And who were you playing football for?
Football at that time would be the school, mainly the school. And I went to play with. Yeah, I moved from. I used to live at Brampton, at Chesfield, and I moved to Stretton on Stretton, Claycross,
Yep.
and I moved to there when I was 10. So that's when we started playing competitive football, and I played with Claycross and Danesmore Miners Welfare, and we used to play in the Rowsley League. So you come against Matlock and Cromford and Darley-Dale and them sides. So yeah, so there was no real. They didn't overlap.
No.
Basically.
And at what point did you? Because you're in your teens here, mid-teens.
That time I'd be not quite teens,
right.
10, 11,
right.
12. That's when we started playing competitive, and cricket-wise, yeah, as I say again, we were playing that type of stuff.
And did you have any ambition at that time to go beyond playing for the fun of it, or were you thinking?
Always,
really,
always. That's all I ever wanted to do. I remember my mum and dad saying that they bought me as I could barely walk, a leather football, and I remember when we used to live at Brampton, we had a large, quite wide kennel, and we used to get the lads off the street. We used to play a lot of street cricket then. I mean, you don't see that now, but we used to play a lot of street cricket. But in our area at Brampton, there was houses across the road, and I used to get told off for hitting windows through there and stuff like that. But no, so we all used to play, and it was quite, we used to play out at late at night. I mean, you don't get kids doing that now. They've got, with their housework and schoolwork and things like that. But even at that time, at 10 years old, when I was at Brampton, we used to have our own football team, Brampton Rovers, Brampton Bucket Bangers, and we used to get changed in somebody's shed, and we had a little peg with his name on, and they were just local lads who just wanted to play with no kit. We just used to wear our own, and it was quite fascinating. But yeah, so that's where all my sport come from. But I always, right from being early and young, it was I want to play professional football and cricket.
So what was the next step to that? Because we're getting you into your teens and the game's becoming more organised. So which club are you looking to play for in cricket?
Yeah, I mean, it was, as you say, it was. I played a little bit at Chesfield. We went on tour with Chesfield when that was probably 14, 15. I went on a West Indies tour with Chesfield Cricket Lovers. Chesfield Cricket Lovers had a sponsorship thing. They had and they sponsored me to go to Taunton, to Millfield School.
Really?
And I spent a week there. Yeah, I spent a week there playing cricket.
Great reputation. For
fantastic.
Well.
And I went down there at that time, not knowing really what it was about. And we had to do cricket was one, which we did in the afternoons for 5 days, and the other one was I chose drama. I don't know why, but I chose drama. They didn't do football, so it was.
Who was coaching you? Were you being coached then?
Yeah, at that time, as I say, it was mainly Dick Suttle and Bob Murray.
Who was at Milf? Was there anyone at Millfield that coached you then?
Dave, I can't remember, honestly.
Did you just play games then each afternoon?
Yeah, and I remember going with. Then that's the time when I started coaching with Derbyshire.
Right.
And obviously JD was one of the main coaches at that time for the.
How would that come about then? Was that incidental?
I think it came through schools. I think Derbyshire schools. Derbyshire schools was the first one. There was no cricket board as such. I think it was the schools and then the cricket association. I think it was at that time.
So somebody tells somebody.
Somebody told something, and somebody told somebody else, and that's how you got involved. And I think JD used to watch schools cricket. So when you was playing Derbyshire schools, then you obviously come down and then you get additional on top of that. So that's where it all started.
So we're talking now mid-70s?
Yeah, you're talking mid-70s. At 75 I went to senior school. So.
And how often would you go down to Derby? Would you go in the winter?
We'd do winter nets down Derby.
Yeah.
We'd do that down Derby.
And who would that just be with John Brown?
That would be with John Brown. Yeah, that was mainly with John Brown.
Any specialist keeping coaching?
No, not really. No, not really. Not at that time. It was, you do what you did. I mean, my dad used to take me. My dad used to take me football training. He used to take me cricket training. I'd always got my gloves on. I'd always got a bat in my hand. I'd always got a football in the season. So it was all more or less from my dad really. But the first proper coach would probably be Dick Suttle and Bob Murray, and then JD when I got through to the Derbyshire area.
And when we look at the mid-70s, which game is looming larger as the one that's going to take you professional? I know you play professionally both, but which came first and how did it arise?
I think probably cricket. I think at 13, well, as I say, at 10, 11, and I was playing under 13s, I probably thought, well, I'm enjoying this. I enjoyed what I was doing, and I was contributing at them ages. I wasn't just turning up and I was contributing. So that was a big thing. Football-wise, it was more when I got to around 14, and I signed schoolboy forms with Rotherham. My dad was a big fan of Jim McGuigan, and he came down and was playing a Chesterfield boys game, and he asked me if I'd signed schoolboy forms, which was blue forms at the time. So I signed schoolboy forms at Rotherham, and then you'd go through to under 15s at cricket time, and you'd go there. So
were you aware that there were others, but not many, who were dual sports?
Yeah,
people like Chris Balderston.
There was Chris Balderston, and there was Ted Emsley, and
because Ian Hall, of course, did.
Yeah, Ian Hall. There was a few, so I did know that there was a lot who played both football and cricket. I didn't realise that would become a lost thing now because.
We'll fast forward, but were you the last?
The last one apparently to play. I mean, I was probably the last one to play for a period.
Yeah. Just going back to the 70s and you were down at Derby, anyone else being coached at that time in those nets that went on to become a professional cricketer?
Well, Andrew. I played a lot with Andrew Brown. I played a lot of time. I played a lot with him. Paul Taylor was another one who came on late. He came on a bit later. A lad who never really played first-class cricket, but played a lot of second team cricket. Andrew Pierpont.
Yes.
Fair-haired lad. Yeah. I think he won second team bowling average for about 5 years on the trot and never actually got a contract. So he was another one who came through.
Which club was he from, Chris?
Kiverton.
Right.
It was Kiverton Park. Andrew was at Kiverton Park. His family lived at Barrow Hill, and he went to Kiverton Park. Andrew was obviously down at Langley Mill in that area. So they were the ones who I came through with and played a lot of cricket with those guys right from early ages.
So you're being coached down there in the winter with an expectation of what? Who did you anticipate your next team would be? At what level would you be playing at next? Seconds, or was it too early for that?
What, at senior cricket?
At Derbyshire,
Senior cricket with for Derbyshire.
Yeah.
No, I was too young at that time. I'm 14.
Was it still club and ground then? I'm trying to work
No,
out
I'm not
what
sure.
you were building to, or would it be?
Yeah, I'd have thought at the time. I mean, they were played under 25s at that time.
Right,
That
yeah.
was a big thing. But at 15, yeah, you're still 14, 15. You're still really young. It was basically to Colts.
Yes,
Colts under
of course,
19s,
yes,
and I had
yes.
4 years at Colts. So that would probably be 15 when I started playing Colts. 15, 16 when I started playing. And that was fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, that was a time where that was probably the first time that you go away playing. We used to go to Oxford. Frank Rasmussen.
Oh yeah.
He was the guy who used to look after that with Colin Brown. And then later JD came and got involved with the Colts as well. Which was, fantastic cricket.
Were there any other keepers challenging you at that time for your? Because obviously there's only one place, isn't there? It's not like a batter or a bowler. With a keeper, it's just one. Any other keepers around at that time?
Do you know what, Dave? I'm not 100% sure.
You must have seen them all off then.
Yeah, must. I don't know. It was just, I just enjoyed doing what I was doing, and I think, even now, if people just enjoyed what they're doing and have played with less pressure.
Yeah.
And I think playing both football and cricket helped me do that. I think I didn't have to, probably my own downfall in later time, but I just enjoyed doing what I do, and I took it as though it was a sport and not a living. And even when I played both professional football and cricket, I still enjoyed doing what I was doing. I didn't really class it much as a career or a job or whatever.
But you must have been approaching an age where you'd got to decide,
Yeah.
am I going to get paid for doing this?
Yeah,
If I'm not,
it
I've
was.
got to get a
It
job.
was, yeah. I mean, I as I say, it was round about, I remember at 14 when we did his options at school, and the careers officer came and he interviewed me, and he said, your career, what are you looking at doing when you get to 16? And I said, I'm going to play professional football and cricket. But this was 14, and he said, yes, but what if you don't do it? I said, but that's what I'm going to do. I ain't going to do anything else. That's all I'm going to do. Yes, but you need something to fall back on. At that time, my mum was an hairdresser, and she'd got her own business. So to get out of this conversation, you think, well, you know what's coming. I just said, I'll go into the family business. So they said, and what's that? So they said, hairdressing. So I leave this. I leave this interview with piles of paper like this on hairdressing. I go home and I say to my mum and dad, they said, how's it gone? I said, well, yeah, it's gone all right. They said, what you told me, what are you looking at? I said, well, I've told them I'll go in family business. They said, what are you on about? And I said, I told them I'm going to play pro football and cricket. And I said, they said I can't. And I said, yeah, I can, and that's all I'm going to do. So I said I wanted to get out, so I told them this. They went, you've just wasted that bloke's time, and you've wasted your own time. And so, yeah, but I mean, saying that, I mean, my dad pushed me. I mean, as I say, when I was at Rotherham, so from 14, I used to travel to Rotherham twice a week, football, in the football season. We used to travel twice a week to Millmore, and we used to train indoor. And then on the weekends, we used to play for their nursery side, which was Bethley. We used to play Throssels, which was Sheffield United, and Middlewood, which was Sheffield Wednesday, and Lincoln, I think there were Burns, but I can't remember some other name. So you used to play a good standard footballer then. At that time then, cricket, as I say, I was starting to play good cricket, and I think, the Colts cricket was exceptional. I think that was great, and as I say, we used to go down to Oxford, play on good wickets, play time games, and things like that. So
your hands got put to use with a pair of gloves on rather than a pair of scissors. Well,
yeah,
we're going to just call a halt there because I want to particularly get into what came next, your professional career. So for now, I'd just like to say thank you, and we'll resume shortly.
Lovely,
Thanks,
thanks.
Chris.